Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to 3302. This is where I take a look at the news and happenings in and around Elite Dangerous. Today we're going to take a look at the new Colonia hub set up in Jack's space. The Dangerous Games winners, e.g. pilots, are last going to be set up as a power within the game to a much controversial decision from Frontier, and some final thoughts on the ship transfer vote. Thanks to Jack Station and a huge number of commanders, the Colonia Nebula is slowly becoming populated. As of last week, there is a new service-based outpost out there called Colonia Hub. Here you can see a great image taken by Tange Redshirt and posted to Reddit. I actually haven't had the opportunity yet to go and check Colonia Hub for myself, but it's something I plan on doing over the coming days. Now, Colonia Nebula is fast becoming the second inhabited bubble of human civilization. It's a long way away, 22,000 light years away from the current inhabited area, but as this expands and grows, I can see a good number of commanders making it their permanent home, and I for one will certainly be doing that with one of my ships. It's an extremely resource-rich area. There are a load of system rings out there, and if you go around those planetary rings, you will find that currently they are all pristine in quality. That means that they are in the highest quality state available within the game. And there also happens to be quite a lot of metallic ones and metal content rings around there as well. So if you're into mining, you could do a lot worse than hanging around in Jack's space. In terms of the environment, it's also very different to the current inhabited area because it's situated right within or right next to a nebula with a very different view of the galactic claw as well. The Colonia hub then marks the first human-constructed outpost this far outside of human-inhabited space. And of course, it also marks a huge step towards human interests within the rest of the galaxy. But that said, there could be other species paying close interest in what comes next. The Dangerous Games come to an end quite a while ago now, with e.g. pilots being the successful winner and thus becoming the first player power within the game. Now, they are due to shortly be implemented as a power, but to do that, they do need some home systems. In basic terms, there are two types of influencers within the galaxy. You have factions and you have powers. Now, factions can own a system, and indeed e.g. pilots already has their own system as a faction, but their power is now also going to need a separate seat of power. Now, Frontier have decided precisely where that's going to be, and as it turns out, it is right in the home system of Sep, the third place contestant of the Dangerous Games. Now, although according to the game's rules and according to the game's systems, both a power and a faction can occupy the same system, it's unlikely at best that both the power and the faction are going to have interests which align with each other. Now, e.g. pilots won the Dangerous Games fair and square. They are a huge juggernaut of a faction with massive player numbers, and they have proven time and again that they can pretty much achieve anything they set their mind towards. And of course, they have also shown willingness to negotiate with other factions out there. It's clear that both Sep and e.g. pilots are very committed groups and have a deep love of working with the game, and it's just as clear that both groups have invested huge amounts of time to achieve their goals and aims. However, this scenario is very much removed from in-game events and players' decisions, because Frontier themselves have injected e.g. pilots the power into another faction's system. And due to the nature of the power play game mechanics, it's in e.g. pilots' interest to take over all the surrounding systems, which would mean that they overtake all of Sep territory. Of course, that doesn't mean that is exactly what is going to happen, and it doesn't mean that is e.g. pilots' aims, although the power play mechanics would encourage that. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is that Sep have put many thousands of man-hours into obtaining and gaining control of this territory, as well as setting it up in a manner that suits their aims. Whilst all factions within a game, whilst all player factions within a game as well, always run the risk of hostile takeovers by other player groups, it's a very different story when one player group is artificially injected into another player groups by a godlike power, as it were. There are many arguments, of course, both for and against this scenario, one of which includes the fact that there are a limited number of systems where a new power can be injected into. And ultimately, one way or another, it would seem likely that wherever the power is injected, it would step on someone's toes or other. If you're interested in finding more information out about this, you can check out the massive forum thread which I've linked in the video description below. It's an ongoing discussion which I'm hoping that Frontier are going to take an active role in very soon. Now there's also more history to this scenario than I've been able to cover in this short segment of this video, so like I say, if you are interested, do check out the forum threads below. From one sensational decision then to another. The ship transfer vote should have completed by the time you watch this video. As of this recording, I've no idea what that result is going to be, but judging from polls on the forums, it seems that many forum-going players at least are in favour of a delayed ship transfer. Overall, this is a very interesting poll, and will dramatically affect the future of the game, I feel. Many people keep bringing up the subject of immersion for the discussion, and for me, I totally understand and can relate to that, but it seems that the subject of immersion on both sides of the argument has outweighed and exceeded what this decision could actually mean for the future of the game. Because depending on how ship transfer is actually implemented, it will affect the future development of the game. In a galaxy with instant ship transfer, we will likely have one type of gameplay centered around quick access and instant gameplay, whereas with a delayed ship transfer, we'll likely have an alternate future for the game centered around more time-constrained management. Then again, I could be completely overanalyzing this situation, but I do feel that ultimately this is going to have a massive impact on the future of the game, and it could well be a pivotal moment in the game's future development. For those of you that have been playing Elite Dangerous for a few years now and have been involved with the community for a long time, you will be no stranger to the Fang comic. Now this is a webcomic created by Lee Hutchinson with character art by David Hall. It's a great noir-inspired story which you can see some panels of here in the background, and it's something I highly recommend you go and check out. And if you haven't seen it before, do take a look at the back issues as well. I for one am really pleased to see this comic make a return, and I hope that it stays with us for a long time to come. Tychus 2 continues to make some exceptional Elite Dangerous videos on his YouTube channel. You can see one of them playing here in the background, and they're absolutely stunningly filmed. Now he hasn't been doing this for all that long, just over a month in fact it seems, but in that time he's produced some really high quality videos, and they each tell a very interesting story. So if you like the look of this, do head on over to his channel and check out his videos. That then brings us to the end of this episode of 3302. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.